इंडस्ट्री आहा आणि खुबशे रेव्हेन्यू मॉडेल्स आहा. मागीर सद्याक आमकां गोंयाक रेव्हेन्यू जाय कितलो, गोंयकारांक कितलो जाय, स्टेट चलपाक कितलो जाय आनी तुमी करतात कितें, कसलो प्लॅनिंग चल्ला, हो प्रश्न कोण विचारता आयच्या दिसाक? हो प्रश्न आमी कित्याक विचारूंक पावना तेजे रिजन सांगता. कित्याक बजेटींग करपाचो आमकां संवय ना. आमी केन्ना घरानूच बजेटींग करूंक ना. केला हो बेजीक फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट जेन्ना आमी समजतले एज एन इंडिविज्युअल, तेन्ना मागीर आमी सरकाराक विचारूंक पावतले. आयच्या दिसाक थंयसर ते मंत्री बिंत्री बसला, तेंच्यांनी तरी बजेटींग केलां आसतलें आपलें केन्ना? असल्या लोकांक आमी निवडून हाडून थंय बसयला. इतले डिपार्टमेंट इन्वॉल्ड आसा ती एक कॅसिनोक परमिशन मेळपाक, रायट फ्रॉम CCP टील GCZMA आनी गव्हर्मेंट एप्रुवल जायत पडटा. तेंच्यांनी कॅसिनो लॉबीन सद्याक ऑपरेट करताले ते आतां ते कॅपॅसिटी एनहान्समेंटाक वयता, वाडोवपाक सोदता. पणजेच्या परिस्थितीन आनी इमिजिएट कॉज ह्या मिटिंगेचे म्हटल्यार ते 112 मिटराची आतां नवीन बोट येवपाची आहा. आमकां कोणाकूच कॉमन सेन्स ना म्हटल्यार तो कोंकणीन सिंपल भाशेन विचारपाचें जाल्यार अक्कल नाशें दिसता. आमी सगळेच गोंयकार अक्कल शुन्य अशें दिसता, हांकां मूर्ख कशे. तुमी ती धाकटी बोट काडटा आनी येदी व्हडली बोट घालता आनी रिप्लेसमेंट म्हणून आमकां सांगता आनी आमी मान्य करपाचें. म्हटल्यार इतले सारखे मूर्ख समजता आमकां. पूण हे तेंकां लज न्हू, ही आमकां लज. कित्याक तर आमी मूर्ख न्हू म्हणून तेंकां परत केन्नाच सांगना. आमी सांगला हेजे फुडें तरी सांगतले म्हण आशा धरया. आतां कशें सांगतलो हो एक प्रश्न आहा. तुमचे सगळ्यांचे इनपुट्स वेलकम आहा. आमकां फक्त तेंकां आतां सांगपाक जाय की आमी मूर्ख न्हू. कॅसिनोचो आनी एक बारीकसो जस्ट 1 मिनिट बारीकसो एक एग्जाम्पल सांगता. कॅपॅसिटी एनहान्समेंट ह्या लॉबीची फक्त पणजे पुरती मर्यादीत ना, ते प्रत्येक गांवांत पावपाक लागला. आनी ह्या खऱ्यांनीच रिस्क आहा. आमी मोरजे गांवांत येतालो कॅसिनो गोल्डन ग्लोब म्हणून, तेंकां थंयसर कोर्टान येल्लेले आहा. बांबोळे येता, थंयसर बोवाळ चल्लेलो आहा. आतां हे गांवांनी वचपाक सोदता. गोंयांत आयच्या दिसाक हावजी लिगल ना, मडको लिगल ना, पूण हे जे जुगाराचे अड्डे गांवांत येवपाक सोदता, तेजो फायदो कोणाक जाता आनी कसो जाता हे विचारपाचो वेळ येयल्लो आहा. हांव बेस्ट तुमकां एक सजेशन दिता, कशें कितें करूं शकतले, एक्झिक्यूट करपाक मेळटले ते पळया. प्रत्येक म्युनिसिपालिटी, प्रत्येक पंचायतीन प्रत्येक म्हयन्याक एक रेजोल्युशन घेवपाचें आमकां गोंयांत कॅसिनोज नाका म्हणून. जावं न्ही बल्क रेजोल्युशन हाडून दिवया. ग्रामसभेक रेजोल्युशन घेवया, प्रत्येक ग्रामसभेक घेवया, कन्सिस्टंटली घेवया. कन्सिस्टन्सी इज द की. आमी फक्त एक आतां सुद्दां आतां तुमी सारके एनर्जेटीक आहा, मिटींग कॉल अप केला, लोकांनी बरें भाशण दिलें, तुमी एनर्जायज जाले. आयज गेले ते बंद करया म्हटले, तेंच्यांनी बंदूय केले. फाल्यां सकाळी परत चालू केले, हे लोक परत दिसचे ना न्हू थंय. कन्सिस्टन्सी ना आमच्या मदीं. कन्सिस्टन्सी जाय, पेशन्स जाय, रिजल्ट अचीव करतले म्हणून डिटर्मिनेशन जाय. जे आमच्या मदीं कमी पडला किंवा फाटल्यान पडला ते परत फुडें हाडया. कन्सिस्टंटली आमी फायट दीत रावया. कित्याक आमी फर्स्ट एटेम्प्टान 10वी पास करूंक ना आसलेली, किंवा आमी जे अचीव केला पळय ते फर्स्ट एटेम्प्टान करूंक ना. बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल, आमी जर आयज ड्रायव्हिंग जाणा जाल्यार आमी सायकल घेवन पडलेले आहा. पहिल्यांदा पडलेले म्हणून आयज आमी गाडी चलोवचे नासलेले, जर थंयच रावलेले जाल्यार. कन्सिस्टंटली आमकां हेंच्या फाटल्यान लागचे पडटले आनी आमी लागतले ह्या आशा धरता. लागतले करया. देव बरें करूं.
देव बरें करूं स्वप्नेश. आता कॉल फॉर ॲक्शन. आम्ही म्हणलं अवेअरनेस मीटिंग ऑन कझिनोज अँड वे फॉरवर्ड. खूपशे इन्फॉर्मेशन आसा, आमचे फायलीन आसा, पूण आमकां टायम मेळूं ना. Sapnesh was supposed to present some facts and figures, but next meeting आम्ही एक study presentation करतली. So सध्या आम्ही immediate need is how do we stop the casinos? One, the big one which is coming in. Two, what are already existing in the river, and of course the overall casino policy. So ते शॉर्ट टर्म म्हणजे इमिजिएट एक्शन आमकां करपाक जाय. आमकां 2 सजेशन दिला. एक म्हणटा की एक लिगल ऑप्शन की आमी कोर्टान या आनी ते ऑफशोर कझिनोचे ऑफशोर मिन्स 12 नॉटिकल मायल्स ताका चॅलेंज दिया, ताका भायर घालया आमी. आनी बाकीचे बी आसा. आनी दुसरें म्हणजे की social action on the street, people's power will stop the casinos. So these are the two options which are there before us. Just giving you briefly some brief information. एक कोर्ट केस अजून पासून चालू हा जी 2016 पासून आसा. डॉक्टर ॲक्वाविवा तेणीन हायकोर्टान चॅलेंज केल्ले की वो ऑफशोर डेफिनेशन कितें तें. सो ती केस चालू आसा. आनी मागीर एक एप्लिकेशन ते एप्लिकेशन खुबशे मिसलिनियस एप्लिकेशन हा. आनी दुसरे सुदीप तामणकर हाणें एक कोर्टान चॅलेंज दिल्ले जो रिप्लेसमेंट वेसल आहा जो स्मॉल धाकटो आसलो ताका आमी 6 times मोर अशें रिप्लेसमेंट वेसल येता. ती केस हायकोर्टान आसा. सो तेजी एक कितें आमकां लिगल पाथ तर घेवपाक जाय जाल्यार आमकां ती केसीस खंयचे आहा ते मातशी एक अंडरस्टँडींग आसपाक जाय. सामकें शॉर्ट हितून आमकां तामणकर बाब सांगता नाका यू वॉन्ट मागीर ओके फायन. सो ही 2 केसीस सद्याक चालू आसा. सो नाव लेट अस टॉक अबाउट वे फॉरवर्ड अँड ॲक्शन ऑन द स्ट्रीट. सो तुमकां आमचे कांय सजेशन्स आसा पूण आमी ऑडियन्सा कडेन विचारता तुमची कितें सजेशन आहा आमी कशें फुडें सरूया हे कझिनो बंद करपाक. ओके मे बी 1 or 2 वी कॅन गिव. खूब सजेशन येयले जाल्यार आमी सजेशन बॉक्सान घालूं जाता न्ही. ओके एनीबडी वॉन्ट्स टू सजेस्ट. ओके आता आमी जे आमचे ग्रुपांनी जे डिस्कस जाता व्हॉट्सॲप ग्रुपांनी डिस्कस जाता तातूंतल्यान आमी एक सजेशन आयले की आमी आतां स्वप्नेशान सजेशन दिला आमी सगळे कडेन रेजोल्युशन पास करुया दॅट वी डोंट वॉन्ट कझिनोज. दुसरें आमी सिग्नेचर कॅम्पेन स्टार्ट करतली सगळे कडेन की लोकांक जागृत करपाक. कित्याक आमकां खूब लोक रस्त्यार येवपाक जाय आनी सरकाराक सांगपाक जाय की आमकां कझिनो नाका. सो ताका लागून आमी एक सिग्नेचर कॅम्पेन करतली. आमचे रेजोल्युशन आसा. आनी इमिजिएट थिंग इज हाऊ डू वी स्टॉप दॅट बिग बोट फ्रॉम कमिंग. आमचे नेवराचे लोक रेज मागोसचे लोक सांगताले की आमी फिशरमॅन येवपाक रेडी आसा. बोटी तर आमकां घालचे पडले जाल्यार आमी वयतले. कोणें सांगलें वी वील स्विम बिफोर द रिवर. वी हॅव लॉट्स ऑफ सजेशन्स कमिंग हाऊ वी वील फिजिकली स्टॉप द बिग बोट कमिंग इन. ओके सो येस सजेशन्स आयला ते आमी इम्प्लिमेंट करपाक जाय. हांव पॅट्रिशाक आमी सगळे संघटनांक उलो मारला जे पयलीं काम करताले कझिनोचे. पण आतां हालीं खुबशे संघटना नवे तयार जाला. सगळ्यांक आमी उलो मारता आमी सगळीं एकठांय येवया आनी हो कझिनोचो लढो मोठो लढो जावन दी आनी कझिनो वी शूड फायनली पुश इट आउट. ओके हांव I let Patricia talk about the resolution and any other suggestion, then we'll take a collective decision and go ahead. Yeah.
I think I'm one of the last speakers to sort of wrap it up. But there are slips which will go around for your suggestions, because if we have each one talking, then we'll get, it will go on and on. It's almost 7 o'clock and we don't want to delay people. So this was more of an awareness campaign, and we need this awareness too, because we are on the ground trying to take action. We are visiting every office. We are going everywhere. But if we do not have information, like Albertina has told us so much about the law, Sabina has told us what happens, someone has spoken about fraud, we know, and Swapnesh has told us, and Elsa has explained to us everything. So we know why we don't want casinos. It's not saying that, oh, the shopkeepers want casinos, so let's have them. Why casinos should not come, we should know this, and that is why we had the awareness campaign. So the awareness campaign is for us and for those who don't know. Some who know probably do not want this information, but most of us don't know. So let us pay a little attention to gather what we don't know. Now, as Elsa said, there are a lot of authorities to go to. We did do that, and that is the action part that we have been taking. First, we decided, let's go to the CCP. They are the immediate representatives that we have. A CCP is responsible to the city and the citizens. So we started, it's a bottom-top approach, and that's how we went about the whole issue of casinos. Now, we got some replies back, back to us when we went there. So I just want to explain a few things. I'm not going to be very long. I said I'll write it down because otherwise I'll go all around the place. If peace, safety and health of the people of Panjim are adversely affected by the casinos in the river with regard to traffic congestion, stench emanating from the river, loud music, social impacts, etc., and the corporation washes its hands off with the excuse of jurisdiction, the river does not come under us, you all can suffer. Who do people turn to for relief? Isn't it the duty of the corporation, as a people's representative, to take this issue of its people and its city with the government authorities to resolve the matter? You just can't stay out of it saying, that's the river. We only see to the city, and what's happening in the city is a different thing. Now, if that be the case, and if the river is out of its jurisdiction, then why is the CCP collecting waste from the casinos, which is outside its jurisdiction? Has the CCP started a new business, a waste collection agency? I'll give you one example. Only one casino I'm going to talk about. There are 6, but it will take too long, so I'm talking about one. MV Royal Flotel. Maybe you can put the picture up to know which is the boat. It receives consent to operate from the Goa Pollution Control Board. Only then it can operate. It receives consent to operate till 2031. Remember, government they give it 10 years at a time or whatever, I don't know what's their process, but government has renewed the license up to March 27. But they've got consent to operate till 2031. Now, I was looking at the content, the details of that application from which they got consent to operate. The details show how much of biodegradable waste, that is wet waste, is going to be generated by that casino. And here it shows that 150 kgs a day, which will be 4,500 kgs per month, that is 4.5 tons, it's going to generate. The figures that they give, we know, are all fudged. It's really all fudged. I even put it to AI and they said, this looks like cut and paste. I'm not so good at AI, but I asked my son to do it. So this looks like a cut and paste job. Now, they can give 4,500 kgs per month. Now they give details, I'm only giving you 1 month, the month of January 2025. Now this is the details submitted by the casino. Waste sent to the CCP 850 kilos only in that month. Okay? Then we get details from the CCP. The waste that landed was 39,980 kilos. Who are they trying to fool that they are just giving 850 kgs a month? What comes to CCP is almost 40,000 kilos. That means if the Pollution Control Board allows them 4.5 tons per month, CCP is receiving 40 tons per month, and the mayor is not concerned. And what is the Pollution Control Board doing? This is their consent to operate. Aren't they checking what is happening? No. Now, we were told, it's coming in the press every time, these Panjikar against casinos, they're only doing this as an election stunt. Okay? Now, Crizel explained to you how our movement started after seeing the work starting on the river. The matter regarding changing the definition of offshore bill, whatever it is, was filed in the High Court and it's pending since 2016. I don't think it had anything to do with elections. Mr. Tamankar spoke. I mean, he filed a petition at the NGT, and in fact, most of the details we get from his records under Right to Information Act. I don't think it was an election stunt that time when he went. The mayor of the corporation states that the river does not come under his jurisdiction. So how come the issue not to allow the new casino in the river has anything to do with the corporation elections? They got nothing to do with the river. So how does it have anything to do with the elections? The government of Goa has extended the license period of the casinos to 31st March 27. We'll carry on our fight. It's not going to stop. It's not a one-day fight. If it is not resolved now, it will continue till 2027. Will it again be called an election stunt before the 2027 assembly elections? Of course, at that time, there will be a string of promises, as has happened before, like the promise to shift the casino in 4 years, another promise to shift the casino in 100 days, and we believe them, and that could surely be called an election stunt, not what we are doing now. We want a safe, peaceful and healthy city for all the residents. I just want to come, since Elsa spoke about all the departments involved, as far as GCZMA is concerned, they have given environment clearance to the new boat. That's what we heard. But we are not taking that. We have asked questions under the right to information. Because I always believe that when you give information forward, it should be correct information. So when that comes, we want to inspect the file and we want to also see the expert members' remarks on that file if they have agreed that that boat should come into the river. We heard they were not too happy. But we asked for inspection of the file. We will come back to you all in another meeting. Now, when we're talking about tourism, the other day I went to visit the tourism department. There's a nice, all big letters there, regenerative tourism, wonderful. Their vision is to make Goa a world-class destination by 2030. Few years left, you're going to have world-class destination. Before we spoke about sustainable tourism. What is the meaning of that? It's reducing harm to the environment. Okay, so we were trying to reduce. Today, we've got regenerative tourism, which means improving the destination, the environment and the culture. You know, the Race Margus speaker couldn't come here. So he was very, very worried because when they go to remove Tisrios, they know what is happening in that village. And even this dredging is affecting the Tisrios. And I hope I won't take too much time. I love telling stories. It's a small story. My children wanted Tisrios for Christmas because I make a very good preparation of Tisrios. Not suke, something else. So I said, don't worry. I'll ask a fisherman who comes to the door to get me Tisrios. This was on the 24th of December last year. So when the fisherman came, he says, sorry madam, all the Tisrios are stinking. I said, why? He says they come from Resh Margush, but because of the pollution in the water, they're stinking and I don't want to give you the Tisrios. So I thought maybe, he doesn't want me to go to the market and see the better Tisrios. So he's giving me an excuse. So I walked to the market. And when I went there on 24th December, there were no Tisrios in the market. And I asked the fisherwomen, why are there no Tisrios in the market? By Vasyata. All the Tisrios are smelling because the river is so bad. Now, I don't know how the Pollution Control Board is monitoring this or whatever. But that's the actual situation of our fish. We are not going to improve our environment. In fact, we are going to kill everybody with that rotten fish that is coming. Sabina also got fish that day where the gills were smelling very badly. Now, we are going to pass a resolution. We want you all to pass this resolution after this one's later.
You can announce.
Okay. Before the resolution, I want to tell you all that we approached Chief Justice, retired Justice Ferdinand Rebello, and we said, one of your demands was to get rid of the casinos. We are fighting the casinos, please help us. Today afternoon, I received a letter from Justice Ferdinand Rebello, and I would love to read it to you. It's 2 pages, but just have a little patience and listen. This letter is today's. It's written to 3 of us who were representing Ponjekars against casinos. Many are representing. Sabina also is there, but we had put 3 names initially. Patricia Pinto, Crizel Dias, and Valmiki Naik. Not as our pleader, as a resident of Panjim. For us, there's no politics in the casino issue. So this letter was addressed by 3 of us to Justice Ferdinand Rebello. Similarly, 3 of us had addressed a letter to the mayor of Panjim. And you know what he says? What are those 3? Do they think they represent Panjim? I represent some 22,000 people. Who do they represent? And he didn't bother about our letter. So I'm just telling you, the mayor didn't bother about the 3 of us representing Ponjekars against casino. But I'm so glad the Chief Justice of the High Court of Allahabad, retired, Justice Ferdinand Rebello, respected us and he sent us this letter. Thank you all for the letter dated 12th February 2026, seeking my support to oppose bringing into the river a vessel 112 meter long and 27 meter high and having capacity to accommodate 2,000 persons. This vessel, as I understand, is to replace a vessel of the same company having a capacity of 300. These figures keep changing because we don't know exactly what it is. In the right to information, they didn't mention the capacity of this particular boat. But this is what we get from others. So having a capacity of 300 persons under the same license. This one casino, if allowed, would have more persons on board than all the existing 6 casinos. The opposition by the people of Panaji and surrounding areas is moral, just, and to protect the environment, which is the fundamental duty of every citizen, and to protect all our children from the adverse effects of gambling, which the government itself recognizes as a sin industry. No person has a fundamental right to carry trade or commerce in gambling in law. In law, it is described as a trade which is res extra commercium, that's what she told us, and is purely at the discretion of the government, which discretion can be withdrawn any time. Successive governments have unfortunately turned our capital Panjim into a casino capital of India, which has affected everyone living along the banks of the river Mandovi and beyond. The mooring of 6 vessels in the river Mandovi has affected its ecology and environment. Under the provisions of the Indian Ports Act 1925, every port has to have port-based reception and handling plans for port waste. I understand that till date, no such plans have been finalized. Under the provisions of the Inland Vessels Act 21, every vessel, including existing vessels entering a port, has to discharge its garbage at shore reception facilities and have to meet the standards set out in the Inland Vessels Prevention Containment of Pollution Rules 2022. The government and the MLAs of Panjim and other constituencies on the banks of the Mandovi must inform the people as to whether these vessels are compliant and whether the government has appointed a conservator under the Indian Ports Act 2025. The problem started in 1992 when for the first time the government introduced Section 13A of the Goa Public Gambling Act, by which section the government may authorize any game of electronic amusement / slot machines in 5-star hotels. This position continues till date. In other words, in 5-star hotels, what can be done is any game of electronic amusement and slot machines. Governments have come to power promising the people to remove the casinos from the river Mandovi. Not only did the governments of the day renege on their promise, but legalized their continuance in the river Mandovi. In 1996, the government of that day amended Section 13A and for the first time permitted and such table games and gaming on board in vessels offshore as may be notified. The government must produce the notification as to which table games and gaming they have allowed as gaming is not there in Section 13B. Successive MLAs of Panaji and surrounding areas are parties to bring about this amendment. Inland vessel under the Inland Vessel Act 2021 has to be a vessel used for transportation, storing or accommodation within or through inland waters and plying in inland waters. The casino vessels which are moored in the Mandovi are neither used for transportation, storage or accommodation within and through inland waters, nor do they ply in the inland waters. The government must explain to the people as to how the casino vessels fall within this description. Under Section 13A of the Goa Public Gambling Act, table games and gaming are allowed on board in vessels offshore. This is repealed in para 2 of the notification dated 9th November 1995, notified on 23rd November 1995 in the Goa Gazette. This definition has not been defined in the Act. One must understand in its ordinary dictionary meaning means away from the shore, typically in the sea. In other words, there must be a shore. There is no shore where the vessels are moored. The area where the vessels are moored is a running river and cannot be described as offshore, as there is no shore there too. In 2020, Section 13B was introduced that gambling stroke games are not gaming in areas designated. In 2020, the government issued notification designating five-star hotel and vessel. No area has been designated for a vessel. It must, therefore, be offshore and not in Mandovi. The government must explain to the people as to how the casino boats are allowed to be moored in the river and whether the moorings are moorings installed by the government or the captain of ports. No rules have been made till date. The Goa Gaming Act prohibits transfer of license and at the same time, subject to conditions and restrictions, permit transfer of a license in the name of one person to other person. There is no provision as I see it for replacing vessel with larger vessel under the Inland Sports Act. Even if a vessel can be replaced, the legal position, I'm not aware, in brackets, it must be in terms of the same conditions of license of the vessel which is sought to be replaced and must now meet the anti-pollution measures both under the Inland Vessels Act and the Indian Ports Act. The government therefore must immediately disclose the original license given to the person presently running the vessel. If the government does not do so, the MLA of Panjim, who is a minister in the government, must disclose it to the people. Responsible governance is by a government, whether at a state level or a local body like a municipal corporation. They owe it to the people to protect their right to life. The government at a state level and the municipal corporation at a local level and the MLAs who represent the constituencies on the banks of the river Mandovi have equally failed the citizens. Gaming has its bad sides, resulting in moral degradation with several vices. It is high time that our religious leaders across all religions raise their voice against the sin industry. On behalf of the Enough is Enough movement, as removal of casinos from the Mandovi is one of the points in the charter, the movement extends its support to the Ponjekars against casinos. I also propose soon to write on the legal aspects to the government. Thank you very much, Justice Ferdinand Rebello. We are so grateful. Ponjekars and all the people around are very grateful. And I also have to say thank you to all the Ponjekars who have come, and not only Ponjekars, the people around Goa. If it's in Panjim, it affects everybody. Everyone comes to the city. So it's not affecting only Ponjekars. We want all the people of Goa to be a part of this movement. I would request all of y'all, I'm reading out the resolution, but before you all go, please put your signatures to that resolution.
Okay, so just a break. We have Justice Ferdinand Rebello's legal opinion, and there are...
I just have a question about the signature on the resolution. We need to get signatures from our village.
I will just brief you about that. So there are two things. As I said, there is a legal fight and there is a street fight. So as far as legal is concerned, we are checking all the powers of the department, the Home Department, the River Minister of Ports, and to each we are asking them what they should do. Now, a delegation had met Mr. Digambar Kamath, who was Minister of Ports. Now, two things come under him. He said, I check the seaworthiness of the vessels, and two, where the boats are located. So we have told him categorically that the casinos are now being replaced. Okay, earlier they said they cannot move. Now they have made enough money, 20 years, they have profited. Their boats should be seaworthy and they should be out of the river Mandovi. So this is one demand we have placed before Mr. Digambar Kamath. Second, we said that location comes under him. We said that a river has to be free flowing. You cannot have casinos parked in the river, and so you have to take a decision to move them out. Now, these are the two things we have put to him, and he said he will speak to the Chief Minister. Yes. So now, as far as the... Pardon? Wait a minute. So as far as the Chief Minister is concerned, he is the Home Minister, and he is the issuing the Home Minister issues the license. Okay, so we all want to take our views. It's not like a delegation which is going. We want the people of Goa to voice their opinion that they do not want casinos, and therefore we are having a signature campaign, and we want to take these signatures to the Chief Minister. So we have asked Mr. Digambar Kamath to fix a meeting with the Chief Minister. So the resolution Patricia will read out, and if you agree, please sign the resolution and also take it to your villages, wherever you come from, and collect the signatures. Patricia? The legal aspect?
No, Mr. Tamankar would just like to talk a little bit on, because he's the person who went to the NGT because of this boat. Because of the information we got out of Mr. Tamankar's case and the Pollution Control Board report, which they were supposed to do because of his matter, he will just explain a little bit about his NGT case, and then I'll read out the resolution.
उलोवपाचें नासलें, पूण तरी आसतना बोर्ड जी येता तेच्या बद्दल कोणी कांय सांगूंक ना म्हणून ताका लागून मुद्दम उलयता हांगासर. हे प्रकरण जें आसा ही बोट हाडपाचें, हे 2017तल्यान स्टार्ट जाल्लेलें गोंय राज्यांत. जे रॉयल फ्लोटेल आसा तेचो रिपोर्ट ती रिप्लेसमेंट करपाक 2017तल्यान प्रकरण स्टार्ट जालें, आनी त्या वेळाचेर डेल्टा प्लेजर क्रूज एंड कंपनी जी आसा प्रायवेट लिमिटेड, हेंच्यांनी 98 रजिस्टर जाल्ले अमेरिकन एक वेसल थंयसर घेतलेले, आनी ते हाडपाचो प्रयत्न हांगासर जाल्लो रॉयल फ्लोटेलाक रिप्लेस करपाक. मागीर कोवीड येयले 2019, आनी तेच्या उपरांत त्या वेळचे मिनिस्टर आसले तेंच्यांनी ते परमिशन रिजेक्ट केले ओल्ड वेसल म्हणून. ताका लागून मागीर 2000 कोविडा उपरांत 2022तल्यान तेंच्यांनी प्लेन 2019तल्यान प्लेन चेंज केलो, आनी 2020 जे पयले तेंचे लेटर जे आसा हे गव्हर्मेंटाक गेले. आता हे लेटर जे आसा डेल्टा प्लेजर क्रूज कंपनी प्रायवेट लिमिटेड, ह्या लेटरान फक्त 2 लायनीचेर सरकाराक सारको आकर्शीत केला. म्हणजे कितें म्हटलां पयल्या लायनीन की स्कील इंडिया जो नरेंद्र मोदीचो नारो आहा देशान, त्या स्कील इंडियाच्या प्रमाणे आमी सारके उत्साहीत जाले, आमकां प्रोत्साहन मेळ्ळें, आनी वोकल फॉर लोकल ह्या घोशणेचेर आमी स्वताहून हे आतां न्यू वेसल बांदता, आनी ते हांगासर उडपी अंगरकट्टा वॉटरवेज शिपयार्ड एंड पीवीटी लिमिटेड अंगरकट्टा उडपी हांगासर ते बांदप चालू केले 2023तल्यान. ते वेसल जे आसा हे आतां तुमी हांगासर म्हणटा की आमी रेजोल्युशन घेवया, मिनिस्टराक मेळया, येता मेळया, ताचो कांय फायदो ना. ऑलरेडी ताका सगळें परमिशन दिल्लें आसा. हो वेसल जे आसा त्या वेसलाक नांव दिल्ल्या डेल्टीन रॉयली वो नंबर PNG 1008 नंबराचेर रजिस्ट्रेशन सुद्दां सगळें जाल्लें आसा. सगळे सर्वे रिपोर्ट जावपाक जाय ते सगळे ऑलरेडी जाल्ले आसा. हितून आनी रेजोल्युशन घेवन कांयच फायदो ना. हेका निमाणो आतां विरोध, कॉन्क्रीट विरोध करपाची तयारी जावपाक जाय. आतां हांव ते कित्याक सांगता की हांगासर लिगल ग्रावंड्स खंयचे आमी घेतलेले, की जेन्ना ते रेंज मागूश येता तेन्ना आमचे कडेन सगळें इन्फॉर्मेशन आसलें आनी हांवूय थंय आतां रावता सद्या. ताका लागून आमी हो विशय घेवन फुडें वयताना जेन्ना फायल नोटींग जर पळयलें जाल्यार कॅप्टन ऑफ पोर्ट्स तेन्ना जेम्स ब्रागांझो आसलो तेणें रिजेक्ट केल्लें परमिशन. कित्याक ते वेसल जे आहा 112 मिटराचे आनी तेची रुंदी जी आहा ती 28 मिटर रूंद आहा. ताका लागून 18/7/1996 कॅप्टन ऑफ पोर्ट्साचें सर्क्युलर आहा. त्या सर्क्युलराचें वायोलेशन जाता म्हणून कॅप्टन जेम्स ब्रागांझान तेन्ना ते रिजेक्ट केल्लेलें परमिशन. रेड्डी आसलो जो होम पोर्ट सेक्रेटरी आसलो त्या वेळाचेर तेणें रिजेक्ट केल्लें. पूण तेणें लास्टाक म्हटलेलें कितें CM मे लायक टू डिसायड. म्हणटकच CMा कडेन जेन्ना फायल केल्या तेन्ना खंयच्याच NIOचो एक ऑफिसर किंवा लिगल ऑफिसर एडवोकेट जनरलाचो ओपिनियन किंवा लॉ डिपार्टमेंटाचो ओपिनियन कोणाचोच कांयच घेनासतना CMान हे सगळे ओवररूल केले आनी ते फुडें ताका सगळी परमिशनां दिवपाचें डिसिजन ऑलरेडी सगळें जाल्लें आसा. सगळो प्रोसेस कंप्लीट जाल्लो आसा. ताका लागून हांव तुमचे कडेन मागता की ते तुमी परमिशनां मेळची ना किंवा आनी कितें रेजोल्युशन घेतले ते सगळे सायडीक दवरप. आयज सुद्दां इन डिटेल चीफ सेक्रेटरीक एक लेटर दिल्लें आसा. परत आमी NGTन ते फुडें प्लेस करपाक आनी त्या संदर्भान आमचें सगळें काम चालू आसा. तेन्ना हांव मागता तुमचे कडेन की ऑलरेडी सगळी परमिशनां येती जाल्ली आसा तेन्ना तुमी कितें तो ठोस निर्णय घेवचो.
विचारपाक जाय आशिल्लें एक इन्फॉर्मेशन म्हणून गोल्डन ग्लोब हॉटेल हाज्या नांवान ही सगळी शिप्स हांगा मांडवीन हाडटा काय आनी ती रिपेराक म्हणून हाडल्या काय तांच्यांनी हें मातशें पळोवपाची गरज
ना ना पळय कितें आसा न्हू तुमकां एक जाणा जावपाक सांगता. सगळ्यान पयलीं 2013 हांव बसवालो जांग म्हणून 2013 जेन्ना आमकां दिसलें की मांडवीन आतां 2 म्हयन्या सुद्दां पयलीं मांडवीचो टायम टू टायम सर्वे करून घेता हांव लेटर करून पॉल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्डाक आनी लेटस्ट सर्वे आहा फेकल कॉलिफॉर्म जे आहा ते इन्क्रीज जाता मांडवीन थंयसर वाडता. आतां ते कितें हाचेर तेचेर धुकलता ते म्हणटा मांडवीन तेवटेन बोटी आहा नुस्त्याच्यो ते पॉल्युशन करता आनी कोण करता अशें. म्हणटकूच 2013 सगळ्यान पयलें NGTन पेटिशन फायल करून तेन्ना 4 कॅजिनो आसले मांडवीन आनी त्या वेळाचेर आमी स्टे घेतलेली. न्यू कॅजिनो एलाव करचे ना म्हणून मांडवीन ती आमची आजून आसा ते स्टे आसा. पूण तरी आसतना हेंच्यांनी मागीर ते सगळे ओवररूल करून प्रकार मागीर थंयसर डायरेक्शन घेतलें आमी 2014तल्यान सगळें डायरेक्शन आहा की पयलीं वेस्ट सगळी सिवेज डिस्चार्ज जाताली मांडवीन सगळें प्रूव जाल्लें NGTन त्या वेळार आनी मागीर तांकां सगळें रेस्ट्रिक्शन घातल्या. तुमी समजनाका तितलें सोंपें आहा म्हणून 5 जाणांची टीम अपॉयंट केल्ली आसा आनी ती 5 जाणांची टीम हर एक 4 म्हयन्यांनी इन्स्पेक्शन करता सगळ्या कॅजिनोंचेर की कितली वेस्ट सिवेज डिस्चार्ज जाता मांडवीन कितलो वेस्ट हे जाता तो सगळो ते अभ्यास केलो वयता आनी ताचो रिपोर्ट जाता इन्स्पेक्शन रिपोर्ट तेची कॉपी एक आमकां येता आनी एक कॉपी NGTक वयता. पूण तरी आसतना गव्हर्मेंटाक जाय जाल्यार गव्हर्मेंट आनीक खूब सिरियसली तेचेर विचार करपाक शकता पूण तो करूंक सोदिना. कित्याक तो तुमकांय बरो खबर आहा आनी ओपन सांगपाची गरज ना.
एकूच आसा की डेल्टीन आतां तो हाडून दवरला आमी जर तो हांगासून तो शिफ्ट करून सांगुया त्या आडीक आमकां नाका तर तेजे पयलीं आमी स्टार्ट करुया ते व्हडले हाडून सोडचे ना.
2000 तुमी आतां कोणी सांगलेले 2000 कॅपॅसिटी 120 कोटी किंमत 120 कोटी आनी 100 रुपयाच्या इंडेमिनिटी बॉन्डार 100 रुपयाच्या स्टॅम्प पेपराचेर इंडेमिनिटी बॉन्ड दिला की आपूण मांडवीन कसलेंच पॉल्युशन बी करचो ना 100 रुपया किंमत आहा.
देव बरें करूं. तामणकर बाब आमकां हें सगळें इन्फॉर्मेशन जे तुमी दिता ते आमी घेवन चर्चा करतली लिगल ओपिनियन घेतली आनी फुडें वयतली कित्याक हाका टायम लागतलो. ओके पूण जे रेजोल्युशन सगळ्यांक मान्य आसा कित्याक ते WhatsApp ग्रुपाचेर घातलेले आमी तुमचे मुखार मांडटा आनी मागीर तुमकां तर मान्य आसा जाल्यार तुमी पास करचे.
I'll just read the resolution because it is the people of Panjim who should say we don't want, whatever it is. Our fight will go on, we know that. Thank you, Mr. Tamankar has done a fabulous job and he's been doing it alone and I think he deserves this huge clap. And we'll take his advice as we go along because he's so deep into this issue. We are just learning that casino is coming. He knows much more than anyone else knows on it. So really we thank him very much. I'll read the resolution. It's just 4 points, and before you'll go, I think it's out there. You can sign it. Some of the copies will be given to those who can take signatures and get it back to us. At least let the government know that there's not just 3 people or 4 people fighting this issue. There are lots more, and you're all with us. We, the citizens of Panjim, supported by the rest of Goa, demand that 1. The government of India immediately stop the entry of the 112-meter long, 30-meter high Delton casino vessel in the Mandovi River or anywhere in Goa. The government of Goa stop dredging the river. It's going on at the moment, and carrying out other works in the river to accommodate such mega casino vessels, as they are destroying the fragile marine ecosystem and the traditional livelihoods of our fisher folk. They are really suffering, and we are also suffering because our fish is bad. The government of Goa stopped promoting our state as a destination for gambling and our heritage capital city as a sin city, and implement a time-bound plan to remove casinos from the river Mandovi and from Goa. The government of Goa provide a rehabilitation package for Goans employed on the casinos, as well as implement alternate revenue models for local businesses currently catering to casino tourists by promoting Goa as family tourism destination. Thank you. Please sign these letters because we need to take this resolution to the Chief Minister of Goa. Oh yeah, we have to continue. I said our fight goes on and on. I think it's very important that we fight. We may win, we may lose, but I think we are not going to lose. But if we don't fight, then we have lost. So let us all fight together.
Repeal the amendments also.
Yeah, we put that. Okay, there are other issues that were raised, but we will raise it subsequently. One about all the advertisement of casinos in the city, we have to get it removed. So, but these are issues which are coming up.
बॉलीवुड के मशहूर फिल्म मेकर रोहित शेट्टी के घर के बाहर हुई फायरिंग के मामले में पुलिस ने बड़ी कार्रवाई की है। नमस्ते, मैं हूं अलीशा फर्नांडिस और आप देख रहे हैं राष्ट्रीय टीवी। 1 फरवरी की रात को मुंबई के जुहू एरिया में स्थित रोहित शेट्टी के रेजिडेंस के बाहर अचानक गोलियां चली। रिपोर्ट्स के मुताबिक हमलावरों ने उनके 9 स्टोरी बिल्डिंग के फर्स्ट फ्लोर पर कम से कम 5 राउंड फायर किए। एक गोली बिल्डिंग के अंदर मौजूद जिम के ग्लास पर लगी, जिसने एरिया में डर का माहौल पैदा कर दिया।